Afternoon, guys. Welcome to 4LS Bushcraft. Thought I would take you through some of the equipment that I brought out today. Just a little bit of my get home bag type content. I'm just waiting for my get a little bit of water in the cup here, heating up for so I can clean my cup out. But as you can see, it's just a plywood ski shelter hut that I'm utilizing right now. Sometimes guys will figure that you're not out in the wilderness, you're not out in the wilderness. You know what? Come walk back here and tell me that you're not out of the bush. The ski huts are typically way in the bush inside the park. There's a couple that are close to the shores, which are, 10-minute walk in, which is, whatever, right? One of the reasons I like to come out here is because there's not a lot of people, so it's fairly easy to make video. Two, something like this type of a structure will effectively simulate a abandoned type of a house that you might come across if you're in some type of a bug out type situation, or you're trying to get home to your family from one location to another and you got to spend the night. There's obviously no insulation in here. The windows are plastic and the door is just a normal door. There's no insulation on the roof. And even though it has a fairly good-sized wood stove, it is not overly warm in here. It's warm enough that you could stay in here fully clothed overnight with no sleeping bag with the stove going, yes. Is it t-shirt weather in here? No. I'm still wearing my wool sweater and my anorak. So anyway, and usually they leave candles and, sometimes matches and whatnot, and guys decorate it, whatever, if they come out here quite often. But yeah, anyway, we'll go through some of the gear that I brought out. We just went through the cooking system that I have, alcohol stove with a subsidiary wood stove for support. I walked in on my very, very, very well used MSR snowshoes. And last trip, I don't know if you can see this, I actually broke both straps on the toe. It was that cold out. I've never had that happen, and I don't know why. Maybe they're just getting old and they're starting to dry out. I should probably look at replacing them, but those snowshoes I've owned since I worked at Mountain Equipment Co-op, pretty much. I think I got them the same year that I left. So anyway, you guys have seen this pack before, 511 Rush 72. With the old "Don't Tread on Me" Gladson flag. Okay, so in this outer pocket, this is the somewhat immediate necessities type pocket. I'm not going to rip everything out. So in here, in this mesh pocket, I have some meds. I have some polysporin, some soap, some wet wipes, just general meds and hygiene kind of stuff. My big ferrule, just in case I have a knife or something, or I don't have one on the knife. Charge cradle for my bail fan. Sharpie, pen, spare antenna for the bail fan. This is just a short stubby. In here, in this zip pouch, we have It's always hard to do one-handed, guys. Bear with me. We have my Goal Zero solar charging station. I'm not going to rip it completely out. Has all the cords or cables and stuff to charge the Baofeng, my cell phone, my headlamp, and my tack light. This mesh pocket here has the charge cable for my phone, the Goal Zero battery pack, the USB charge cable for the battery pack, and some spare rechargeable AA batteries. It's actually a really nice system that the Goal Zero runs the battery pack on rechargeable AA's, because now for some reason if I'm out and about and my flashlight dies or I lose my flashlight and I come across a flashlight or a headlamp that takes AA batteries, I can utilize the batteries out of that. So it gives you a little bit of flexibility in that respect. Okay, so close this back up. I'll open to this pouch. This pouch here is my notepad. It contains emergency information, stuff. It gives me the ability to write down stuff that I find and I can go back for, make notes, use paper for kindling if I need to, whatever, tinder. Very, very, very useful. Okay, inside the main compartment. This panel is all food. This is all, I believe it's Alpenair. This was an Alpenair 3-day emergency kit that will actually, if you only eat one meal per day, there's 6 days worth of food here. I'm a big guy, and that being said, I have a lot of fat reserves because sitting on the couch at home waiting to go back to work packs on the long-term survival food storage. So yeah, anyway, you can laugh at that all you want. Okay, so continuing on. This is part of my shelter option. There's a heavy-duty casualty blanket in there, OD green on the outside, silver on the inside, reflective. Just like a regular space blanket, only a little bit tougher. It's one of the SOLs. There's some 60-gallon drum liners in here that I can use as bedding, emergency rain poncho if need be, in case I lose mine come summer. Whatever's really required thereof. I'll throw that over there for now. Okay, methyl hydrate for the stove. Spare toque. Spare pair of wool gloves. And this is my lightweight down puffy coat that I got at Costco. 750 fill power down or whatever they call it. Yeah, it's probably not the best, but you know what? It's cheap. Shit tickets. Okay, so right here is my chest rig. Okay. Now, as I've stated before, this is my get home bag. Tracker lives on the inside. Right. Inside this pouch is my first aid, my blowout kit, first aid kit, my Baofeng radio. Okay. This side is some paracord, a water filter, straw, my headlamp. Okay, so that stays on there. The antenna is the expandable Special Forces type foldable antenna for the Baofeng. My Mora cans ball. Great knife as a backup knife. Nice profile for skinning, Scandi ground, ambidextrous type sheath, and the way I have that in there is I've got a hook and loop Velcro to match the expansion pouch. On the inside of that chest expansion pouch is my my compass as well. So there's that, and that lays in there quite nicely. My compression sleeve for my seemingly developing tennis elbow. Every now and again I hurt my left elbow and I don't know why. In here, vacuum sealed, so it's waterproof. My Ranger blanket. Oops, ducks. In the sunglass compartment, I have immediate access to meds, so aspirin, my arthritis meds, aspirin, Gravol, and Imodium is in there. There's nothing worse than having to go from one place to another and either A, having the shits, or having an upset stomach. Gravol will also help you sleep if you need to. In this pouch, you guys are gonna laugh at this one. Baby powder. Why baby powder? Because baby powder does not get slimy. It helps for your chafing. You can use it on your feet to keep your feet from getting all funky. Multiple uses, basically bicarbonate. Extra pair of wool socks, vacuum sealed. Okay. Vacuum sealed shemagh. Maintains waterproofness. Extra pair of long underwear. So for some reason the long underwear that I have, or I don't have long underwear, now I have that spare layer for my lower half of my right? And here is a long underwear top and an extra pair of Gitch. Just basic boxers. You can extend the life of your long underwear in the field by wearing them over top of your just general purpose boxers. When they get funky, chuck them or wash them. Either or, doesn't really matter. So that is that pouch. Get this shit back in there. Always. So as you notice, there's not much in here in terms of a sleep system. The reason for that is, one, bulk. The Ranger blanket, compared to the wool blanket, gives me an extra layer of warmth, minus the fire resistance. So obviously if I'm going to sleep beside a fire, it's going to get spark holes and whatnot, but it's definitely lighter than a wool blanket. So it's a good option, especially for the summer. Even in the wintertime, that extra layer of wool really does help to keep you warmer. Just like that. This is actually on this side, on the bottom. Okay, so the other pouch where I threw my grill pot in there. Normally I run a Ruger 1022 in this pack. However, being that I am in a provincial park and I am not in a grid down situation and I am not at work, I opted to remove my weapon system from this pack. Normally, my Ruger 1022 will live in that pack with little over 200 rounds of ammunition, minimum. I'll check on my water here. See that my water's not even boiling, it's just kind of warm-ish. But whatever, not a big deal. The snowshoes live in my truck, so if I break down and I need to hike to the gas station or hike out to get help, I'm not post-holing through snow. In the back of my truck I also carry an axe. My family's get-home bags are stored in the truck as well. And yeah, so the truck is semi-outfitted for breakdown or emergencies. My big army mitts, which time for a new pair too, I think. I'm getting pretty ratty, but they're still warm. And that's pretty much the contents of my get-home bag, guys. There's not a lot of stuff in here. Now, in some of my videos, I've mentioned that, you know, you guys don't necessarily realize how heavy all this shit is. The stuff that's in this pack weighs approximately 40 to 45 pounds. Right now, it's probably more around the 35-pound mark because I don't have the weapon system in there, but there's a fair amount of weight in there. And as you can see, it doesn't have everything but the kitchen sink. So when you guys are building bug-out bags or get-home bags, you guys got to take that into account. Wintertime, in your truck, it might even be feasible for you to keep a small toboggan, kids type toboggan or something like that, so that you don't necessarily have to carry your pack. You can pull it on a sled. I've done that quite a bit as well. But so you really need to stop and think about your systems before you buy all this gear and throw it all together and then go, oh shit, I can't even carry the fucking thing. Because guess what? It does happen. Everybody's seen the Facebook meme probably with the big strapping guy with the massive backpack in the warehouse. Well, there are guys that do that. The bags are way too big, way too much stuff. Yeah. Am I gonna go out to the woods with this and live there for the rest of my life? No. That's not the primary goal. So I mean, you know, take it for what it is. It's designed to get me from point A to point B in an estimated amount of time. And it's not going to be simple. Life is going to suck royally, but it is doable. So anyway, guys, that's my system. If you guys got any ideas, throw them in the comments box or whatever. It's always nice to read some of the comments, even though I don't always respond to comments. I'm not one of the big guys that feeds the trolls kind of deal. I don't really care if my channel gets millions of hits and I'm funded by YouTube and all these other places. That's not what I'm doing this kind of stuff for. This is just more of a pass on some skills when I can and do it that kind of way. So anyway, guys, have fun, take care, be safe.